You're watching Sunrise on KYMA News 11.
Many would consider Sunshine Hacienda a one-of-a-kind spot here in Mexico, as kids who are placed in the system are either ignored or stuck in overcrowded facilities. A Yuma man has been reported missing overnight. That's the breaking news we're following this morning. 56-year-old Arturo Saucedo, the man on your screen, was last seen leaving his home in the 1400 block of South 7th Avenue around 6:30 last night. We're following developing news. 2 people are sent to the hospital after an RV exploded. In video games like these, almost nothing is off limits, allowing for gamers to be as creative as they'd like. We are following breaking news around the nation this morning. We're starting in Seattle. Police say 3 people were shot at a Seattle music venue last night. It happened at the Crocodile just before 11 o'clock. A Yuma woman is in jail for allegedly attempting to murder her husband. 62-year-old Paula Yuri is the woman accused. YCSO responded to 39th Lane in the Foothills Friday on a call of shots fired. It's a pretty big project they have going on here at YRMC. The new emergency department expecting to have more than 70 new rooms. It looks pretty skeletal right now as welders are hard at work. The most recent project, clearing all of this brush from along this boat ramp, is giving area boaters a safe entrance and exit out of the water. The giant space rock Pluto is also trending this morning. NASA released this video made from over 100 high-resolution images taken of the former planet Pluto. Your time is 7:20 right here in Arizona, 6:20 over in California. Let's get a check on the weather now. Asal Rizai is standing by. That sun is slowly rising. Good morning to you. She's going to be appearing on your screen just about any minutes, but then I disappeared. I'm right over here, everybody. Here. Hey, Asal, can you tell us the weather?
Let's see if yeah, here we go.
How are you doing?
Hey, I'm good, Max. I guess I'm gonna have to start preparing for that jousting competition that we're gonna have, right? I just wait. Do they do those? That's not the one with the horses, is it?
Yeah, it's the horse
it
and
is.
the joust.
Oh no, count me out. I'm not getting on a horse.
Dang it! All right.
It's Happy Super Tuesday.
Happy Super Tuesday. It's just super every day with you.
It's super every day with YouTube.
Since 1998, Homeland Security has counted nearly 10 cross-border tunnels in the Imperial Valley. One of the most recent, which made international headlines, was found in Calexico last month, right next to an abandoned warehouse where, in fact, a previous tunnel was seized. That house, 902 East 3rd Street. It was in this newly built house where authorities found that tunnel, which led to a fully functioning restaurant 300 yards away in Mexicali. The tunnel, though, spanned about 415 yards, and Mexican authorities have since closed the restaurant El Serape. The investigation is ongoing, but started around March 7, 2015, when Homeland Security seized nearly 1,300 pounds of marijuana in a Los Angeles warehouse after they watched it get transported from the 3rd Street house, with a couple of stops in Calexico along the way. More than a year later, about 5 weeks ago, on March 23, 2016, investigators served warrants to that Calexico house. That's when the tunnel was seized, along with nearly 1,500 pounds of marijuana. Federal investigators say this is the first known case of traffickers buying property in the United States for the sole purpose of building a cross-border drug tunnel. With the help of Mexican authorities, 9 people have been arrested in connection to the tunnel. 7 of them were arrested in the United States. Enrique Cruz, also known as Tinky, the owner of the home and resident of Tucson, Arizona, now faces a laundry list of charges, including conspiracy to import and distribute narcotics, laundering money, and aiding in funding a cross-border drug tunnel. Just a few weeks later, April 15th, 2016, another tunnel, found in Calexico, stumbled upon by Border Patrol. This one much smaller, about 142 feet long, 3 feet tall, and 3 feet wide. That tunnel is still being investigated. Homeland Security Investigations released a statement to News 11 saying in part, the use of cross-border tunnels is not only a method used by smugglers to move their contraband into the United States, but it's also deemed a threat to national security. Smugglers will continue to use tunnels as long as it remains profitable relative to the money they invest to build such structures. I met with officials at the Yuma and El Centro sectors to learn more. Agent Guillermo Esparza tells me once a tunnel is discovered, it's immediately under investigation by Homeland Security's Tunnel Task Force. Meantime, police and Border Patrol are standing by.
Our role would be primarily to safeguard the area.
Definitely, we support them 100%.
Then the tunnels are sealed.
It entails filling them with concrete.
Local communities have been battling border activity for decades. Taking to the skies is now trending.
The drones are the newer method used to smuggle drugs.
Yuma County hasn't seen a cross-border tunnel since 2012 in San Luis, Arizona. I talked to Officer Legaspi with the Calexico Police Department, and it's not drones they're noticing.
We haven't received any calls in regarding to drones, but in the past they were ultralight.
Border Patrol still keeping a watchful eye.
We have our remote video surveillance systems that cover all 70 miles of border fence that our central sector is responsible for, as well as roving patrols.
If they don't see suspicious activity first, they ask the community to notify authorities as soon as possible. It's interesting, you guys, those tunnels in Calexico still under investigation. Border Patrol telling me, meantime, they're using intelligence tactics to stay on top of those tunneling through the border. This is Max Tarlton reporting at Sunshine Hacienda, an orphanage and foster home in the town of San Felipe. A place built about 4 years ago and made possible by the Blues and Arts Fiesta that started about 10 years ago. Sunshine is also the brainchild of Gary Lewis, a pastor at 2 churches in San Felipe, who was sought out by a social worker over a decade ago to help with the need for a local foster care.
Usually every couple of weeks we get a call asking if we have the availability to take a certain age or sex.
28 children live at Sunshine Hacienda, some even with disabilities. 9 boys and 19 girls. For most, this is just a foster home. Only 3 children are actually adoptable. Many would consider Sunshine Hacienda a one-of-a-kind spot here in Mexico, as kids who are placed in the system are either ignored or stuck in overcrowded facilities. But here, it's not overcrowded. In fact, their capacity is 50. And they're stocked up with equipment and supplies donated by people in Mexico and in the United States as far away as Maine. There's 2 dorm moms at Sunshine. For dorm mom Rosie, she's working overtime, and she sees kids come and go.
The saddest part of this all is having to send my girls away to their parents. It hurts me because I've raised them and I've helped shape them into respectful girls.
The kids have pretty much everything they can ask for. TV, internet, a basketball court, things to call their own. For the oldest, Alexis, she feels right at home at Sunshine.
When we are in our vacations or free time like Saturdays and Sundays, we go to church, we come back home, we eat.
Alexis came to Sunshine undereducated and now surpasses her 9th grade reading level. And it's not stopping there. She plans to continue her education.
My goal is to finish junior high so I can move on to high school and become a great student.
And education will continue as a school is expected to go up in the lot right across the street. All of this still a work in progress.
My job's never done. I'll be here till I die, and hopefully there'll be somebody to take my place.
And with no deadline, this place is truly making a difference.